It is 6:08, and I call this public hearing of the Board of Trustees of the EdCal Chelsea ISD in order. First item on the agenda are public comments.
None were submitted.
Next item on the agenda is for the purpose of this meeting is to discuss the EdCal Chelsea Independent School District's 2025-2026 proposed budget. Okay, hi Sylvia.
Hi, good evening, Board President, Mr. Ibarra, Interim Superintendent, Dr. Ochoa, and the Board of Trustees. I will be presenting an overview of the 25-26 budget, and I'll start with the tax rate. The 25-26 proposed tax rate, we're proposing to maintain the same tax rate. The tax rate will be brought back to the back to the Board of Trustees sometime in August for adoption. We do not have this is the same tax rate as you had last year for 24-25. I did break down the M&O rate at the bottom so that you can see the Tier 1 rate and the M&O Tier 2 pennies as well. I know that Mr. Trustee Lozano had asked about the maximizing the tax rate. And so with the 14 cents and the 3 cents for the disasters, we're maximizing the 17 cents. So the tax rate for 25-26 will be 1.1325.
I think that's page that. So
the current general fund budget includes both child nutrition program and general operating budgets. The budgets are based on current law, and we will continue to work as a team to implement HB2 into the budget and bring back to the board the revised realignment of that H2 budget. So for local revenues, we have $5,300,373. State revenues, $45,313,624. And for federal revenues, we have $5,572,200. For a total revenue of $186,197.
out of 5,572,000 from federal, how much is it? How much is Title I? Is it about 3 million still?
No,
or?
this federal revenue is,
revenue.
is local revenue that
Okay.
we generate from our child nutrition program.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. Back here. I'm sorry. I saw
Yes.
it. Sorry.
Our general operating expenses, the general operating expenses are by object code. The proposed budgets include cuts to 6,200s, 6,300s, and the 6,400s. And the total for our expenditures is $59,106,388. These are the same expenditures, but these are by function. For a total deficit budget of $2,920,191. We also have our debt service budget. The debt service will be generating an excess fund balance. We will be reaching out to our financial advisor to get more information on or to review the tax rate to ensure that it is appropriate and we have the rate that we need to maintain. And so with this deficit balance, I know there was legislation that may prohibit us from paying our principal. So I will be reviewing that with our financial advisor in the coming months. And we will be bringing it back on, in August for the final rate. We also have our special revenue fund, which is our federal funds, which is our Title I, Title II, and Title IV. And we also have our special education cluster and our ACE, this is the ACE grant, and then CTE Perkins grant for a total of $7,240,411. And I brought this graph back just to re-show the graph. I know there were some board members missing the last meeting, and so I wanted to bring it back just so that we can review again the decline in enrollment versus the revenue and the expenditures and fund balance. I will be continuing to work with the administrative team to implement strategies to decrease the expenditures without compromising instruction. And so we will work on some strategies, and I believe I presented them the last time. You know, some of them, of course, we have a hiring freeze. We also have, we're looking into expenditures that can be reclassified into our federal grants and things like that that will free up some of the money in our general fund. And that is all I have for the public hearing. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no questions? No, we gotta wait for you. All right. So it's 6:14. Workshop, or the public hearing is adjourned. Probably 6:30. Yeah, we gotta wait for them.
Yeah, wait until 6:30.
3, I call this regular meeting of the EdCal Chelsea Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Today is Thursday, June 19th, 2025, and we are meeting in the Administrative Building Boardroom at 920 West Santa Rosa Avenue, EdCouch, Texas. As I begin, I would like to remind everyone that this meeting is being conducted in accordance to the Texas Opens Meetings Act. Roll call.
Norma Linda Peña.
Here, she's here.
Fernando Flores Jr.
Here.
Ashley Vasquez.
Here.
Juan Jose Ibarra.
Here.
Dr. Ricardo A. Ochoa.
Here.
Cynthia Tacuma.
Here.
Rolando Lozano.
Here.
Let the record reflect that a quorum is present. With a quorum established, we will now begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the prayer.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Rocha?
Rocha.
Heavenly Father,
I got it, Ms. Rocha. Our Heavenly Father, be with us this evening as we carry out the deliberations that are important to this district's operations. Be our strength and our guidance by giving us patience and understanding so that these issues may be resolved justly and fairly for all. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Any public comments?
No, no public comments.
Can we sit down?
Hold on, give us this.
At this time, we're going to be moving item 8H to the front. Discussion and action to approve resolution honoring Francis Rocha and authorizing the naming of a district facility in her honor. one more there.
Before we play our last song for the legacy of Miss Rocha, she's been here since the beginning, been an ultimate supporter of the mariachi and every other program. So I know I can speak on behalf of the entire district. Thank you for everything that you do. She had an honorary moño, the tie, the first one that we had at Calchasa on her desk. Somebody took it, so we found it. So I'm going to give her the first moño, and we're going to retire this year's moño so she can have the collection of. So we'll play one more song for you.
What was this man?
This song is the national anthem of all mariachis, so it was back 20 years ago, 2005, the vision of Miss Rocha and the vision of Benny Layton Sr. They wanted to bring mariachi to Ed Calchasa, but they wanted to take it to the next level. And so it was back in 2005 that they found the first director, 2006 came the second director, and 2007 they brought in the metal. Now, since then, 2018, I've been here honored to be humbled to put the program together. You can see that it's growing tremendously. We have the best team, we have the best students, and the best support. So thank you for everything that you've done, Ms. Rocha, and we can't thank you enough. We're men and women of little words, but we like to present you with this musical gift. So thank you so much.
You're gonna heart always, you will always be. I can remember this day when you say we didn't have uniform, and we were all trying so hard to get uniform. The board members were very supportive, especially when you were being asked to go to Washington D.C. everywhere. We had the national school board conference going to Philadelphia to represent the valley, and they said they have to have uniform. Remember, this is very obvious for all of you. We love you. Not only the but I want to say everybody very supportive. Because mariachi music is in your heart. And when you hear it, you might be happy. You might sad, but the music is good. And I'll enjoy this song, and I'll carry it in my heart all the time. the Capitol, and it was real cold, and Marcos will remember. And I always tell the girls, when they tell you you can't do it, you say, yes, I can. And it was real cold, and the taxi would never come for us. So I went up to the front desk, and I said, is it far to walk? And it's called the hill, because you have to climb up. And he said, yeah, but it all depends what shoes you're wearing. And I went like this, and I had high heels. Not that high, but high heels. And they said, oh, you'll never make it. And I had told the girl my story, and said, let's go. And there we go. And she said, you never tell Ms. Rocha you can't do it, because she gets more energy. And I'll tell her, don't ever let anybody tell you you can do it. Believe that you're the best, because you are the best, and you will be the very best. Wish you the very best of luck, and you know that you're the best. Always thank your parents, thank your mariachi instructors, and our board of trustees, and our superintendent that always supporting you all. You're the best. Viva la máquina.
Thank you all. Before we vote on this item, I'd like to read a resolution honoring Francis S. Rocha on her retirement. Whereas Francis S. Rocha, an alumna of EdCal Chelsea High School, began her lifelong career in education as a student volunteer, tutor, and member of the Future Teachers of America, mentoring young children even before graduation. And whereas in 1969, she officially joined EdCal Chelsea ISD as a paraprofessional at EdCal Elementary and pursued her higher education at the University of Texas Pan American. After obtaining her teaching certificate and teaching for 6 years, she earned a master's degree in education and rose to the position of instructional supervisor at EdCouch Elementary. Whereas Ms. Rocha served as principal of EdCouch Elementary for 6 years, after which she was appointed director of curriculum and instruction. She went on to distinguish herself over the next 15 years as an assistant superintendent, overseeing curriculum and instruction, and later student services, and even stepped up as interim superintendent of schools for a period of 17 months during a critical transition. And whereas, drawing on her own experiences as the daughter of a migrant farm worker and the first in her family to pursue higher education, Ms. Rocha has championed expanded opportunities for students of all backgrounds. Remembering her challenges as a youth, she has been a tireless advocate for enriching extracurricular programs and support services so that all children have the chance to succeed. And whereas, beyond her official duties in the district, Francis Rocha has actively contributed to the border community. She had the honor of serving on the Delta Region Revitalization Corporation, an education task force under Congressman Ruben Hinojosa, to spur educational and economic opportunities in the Delta area. She has further served her hometown as a commissioner of ELSA since 2018, and she continues to give through roles such as board member of the Edinburgh Teachers Credit Union, leadership in her local Rotary Club, and volunteer service at Sacred Heart Church in ELSA. Her greatest joy has always been serving the students of EdCal Chelsea ISD and uplifting the community that she loves. And whereas Ms. Rocha's extraordinary dedication has been recognized at the state level. Notably, the Texas House of Representatives in 2015 adopted House Resolution 785 honoring decades of service to EdCal Chelsea ISD, commending her for fostering a supportive educational environment and benefiting countless young Texans. And whereas, after 54 years of steadfast service with EdCal Chelsea ISD, Francis S. Rocha will be retiring at the conclusion of her contract term, concluding a truly remarkable career of educational excellence and inspirational leadership. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of EdCal Chelsea Independent School District hereby express a profound gratitude and admiration to Francis S. Rocha for her 54 years of distinguished service, during which she positively impacted generations of students and staff through her dedication, vision, and compassion. and confers upon Francis S. Rocha the honorary title of Superintendent Emeritus of EdCal Chelsea ISD, effective upon her retirement and as a tribute to her enduring legacy of service and leadership, and officially designates the district's fine art facility to be named the Francis S. Rocha Fine Arts Center in lasting recognition of her contributions to education and the arts of our school, so that the future generations will remember and be inspired by her commitment. I need a
I can make a motion to approve. Second.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Torres. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against? Motion carries.
I'd like to say to everybody here, you're witnessing to something that's incredible. 54 years ago, first thing we said is trying to make a difference. You want to do something special. I think after 54 years, everyone can do it. And we're often that is one that actually counts. But I thank you for being here with us. Very special. Thank you.
I just want to tell people, I'm truly honored that I received this on behalf of my family. And my mom and dad always believed in us. And they instilled in us that when you did something and you signed your name to something, make sure that it was the very best, because you were not only representing yourself, but the name Silva. And that's why I kept insisting that always wherever I go, Francis S. Silva, because I am who I am because of my daddy. So I'm truly honored, and I accept it on my family, and also my family here at EdCal Chelsea. For 54 years and counting, because when I was in high school, we were a family. We've had the privilege of working together, and this is a tribute to all of you that love kids, the parents. You're my family, we're our family, and I can tell you that it was hard, because I was told I was never going to go to college. My counselor said I wanted algebra. That no, you're not. You're going to take related math 1, related math 2, and you're done. And I said, but I'm going to be a teacher. He says, no, you're not. You're going to get married. I said, well, maybe I'll get married. I said, maybe I will get married. I probably will. But I am going to be a teacher. I wish he was alive to know this. Roll the years. There's 1969. I graduated, and I sat in that football field. And I was denied the privilege of being in band. I wanted to be in band. But because my daddy would go to West Texas, and then we would come back to school, they said, there I am in Central Middle School, and I go to, because there was all these instruments, but I didn't know they were instruments. And they would take the suitcases out and say, where are they going, Mr. Redding? They're going to band. I want to be in band. Well, go talk to Mr. Satz. There I go. And I said, Mr. Satz, I want to be in band. He says, young lady, where were you in September? La Mesa, Texas. So I never got the opportunity to be in band. But my sister, my family, Lisa, Philip, they all were, my children were in band. So I made a decision sitting in that band, that football field where the transportation department is now. And I said, Francis, one day you're going to come back and you're going to make sure that every student that wants to go to college will go to college, and everybody that wants to be in extracurricular will be in extracurricular. And I'm an advocate for children. I will always be an advocate for children. And here we are. We've got the best mariachi program, the best fine arts program, the best band, everything, and now we have the early college. So that gives me a great honor. I remember when Mr. Castillo, Miguel Castillo was the principal, and we were ready to send out the application for the early college, and there I am. And I said, wait, Mr. Castillo, before we put send, let's pray. And we prayed, and it's history. Now we have all that. You'll be seeing STC graduates, and all of that is possible through the support of all of us. And I am here representing all of you. And together, we have made who Coach Elsa is, and a lot of these board members, or my students, or my colleagues, Rolly, all of it, Sandy, all of them were kids. Sandy's sister and I used to share clothes because we wanted to wear different clothes to school. But it's an honor and a privilege, and I will never say goodbye because at Coach Elsa, I cannot picture a Friday night without me running all over the field, praying with the rose in my hand that nobody gets hurt. Que viva la máquina, and thank you so much, the board. Sandy, I can never thank you enough. This is truly an honor. My family have to miss a lot of activities in home with my family. Mom, we have to go. I gotta go here. I gotta go there. My David can testify. My sister Lisa. I always do that because I said, Mom, one activity that you don't go is not going to hurt anybody. And I'm walking to the Cape program one time, and it was football season and it was basketball season. Here comes some boys, and he said, Ms. Rocha, you know that the basketball, we're also yellow jackets like football players. You haven't come to a game. So I didn't see, they do know this. But anyway, que viva la máquina, and I love you all, my family. Thank you so much.
Right here. 1, 2, 3, one more. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize Mary Gonzalez, who's been part of this district for 39 years, and Mary always smelled great.
He said you always smelled great.
Yeah. What are we gonna get? Were there any open comments for the regular? No? Next item on the agenda are recognitions. We're going to go ahead and move up presentation on the Possible Dream by Region 1.
Good evening, President Ivada, board members, Superintendent Ochoa. It's my pleasure to greet you tonight. It's my pleasure to be here tonight. You know, this is, whenever I think of Ed Chelsea and I think of the deep history of this district, little did I know coming tonight I was going to witness history again. So it was kind of my privilege to witness this with you tonight. I don't know that we have slideshow. You have a packet.
Yeah, we have a packet
in front of you, and that's kind of what I'm going to cover. So first of all, just a little adjustment. Normally when I speak to you, I'm representing Region 1. Tonight I'm actually not representing Region 1. So Region 1 is Region 1 is where I make my living, right? And I love it, serving districts and serving you, and we've been serving you quite a bit this year in particular, right? But in my spare time, I have founded this foundation. It's a 501c3, so I'm not an employee of this. I don't receive any revenue from this. I'm the founder and the chairman of the board of the Possible Dream Foundation, a 501c3 corporation. And this, I'll go back a little bit. A passion of mine, as you well know, because I've talked to you about it before, is adults that do not have a high school diploma. Adults that never got to complete high school and so forth. And especially if you go back in the history of this valley, the history of Edcalchelsa, if you listen to Francis Rocha's story, you know, there's many reasons why we have a high level of adults in our area that do not have a high school diploma. And so things that happen historically are part of that, right? And the expectations, they used to be very different historically. Also the need to work and migrant farm work and just so many different things that have led to this. And back in 2007, when I became superintendent of PSJ school district that had a horrendous dropout rate at the time, we set up the first adult high school in the state of Texas that would serve adults over the age of 21, and which we helped through Region 1, so I'll step back and forth, but through Region 1, we helped you to open something similar this year. And so over the 12 years I was at PSJ, we graduated almost 3,000 adults ages 18 to 26 with a high school diploma, helping them to get certificates and everything. In about, I don't know, 2013, 2015, a group out of Austin that was pretty connected went to the state leadership and the legislature, and they got a bill passed to take the model that we had started here in the Valley and say, what if we tried this for adults up to age 50, older adults? So they compromised and they agreed on, you know what, age 50. So what if we gave this same opportunity instead of going to, because it used to always stop at 21, well, we pushed it here in the Valley, we pushed it to age 26, and that started spreading around the state. And the legislature started endorsing that. And so it was, can we do it to age 50? And so a 501c3, Austin Goodwill, was granted a pilot through legislation to open an adult high school similar to your college and career center that you have here for adults up to age 50 to get their high school diploma. They've graduated almost 2,000 adults, 18 to 50, in the decade since they opened that. When it happened, I remember feeling very chagrined because I'm like, we started that, we should have the opportunity to, to also serve older adults. In 2023, the legislature passed a bill saying there could be 10 more programs around the state, and that they would be willing to fund 10 more programs. And so one of the caveats, it needed to be a 501c3 was the key type of organization to operate these. So I set up a 501c3, got some help from Senator Cornyn to expedite it, got some help from our state Senator Hinojosa and so forth. And so this fall, we are opening high schools for adults up to age 50. This is not Region 1, this is the Possible Dream Foundation in Hidalgo County, in Laredo, in Brownsville. Throughout our region, and I won't go through, you have a packet here where you can look at data and everything, but throughout our region, approximately 30% of adults over the age of 25 do not have a high school diploma, have never completed high school diploma, GED, anything like that. So the need is tremendous. So what we have here, what I will refer you to is in the left-hand pocket is this one-page document here. If you turn it to the back, what will be offered through this Possible Dream Adult High School is a high school diploma. This is not a GED, not to knock a GED, but just to indicate this is a high school diploma. So this means these adults will need to earn all the same credits that the students at Edcalchelsa need to earn. So they'll need to pass their history classes, their math classes, their science classes, their English classes. They will need to take exit exams and so forth, okay? We will be offering them also, concurrently, and we're required to, we will be offering them industry-based certifications in areas where there's need. So the idea is to help them move up in life, help their families to move up, set an example also for their children, help the community, help the economy. And so these are some of the examples. This is based on the Lower Rio Workforce Board. These are some of the high-need areas in our area. Now, they're not limited to this. Going back to Ms. Rocha's story, they're not limited to this. If they want to transition into college and they want to get their university degree and they want to become a teacher or anything else, well, they will be supporting that as well. And then on the right-hand column is the kind of support we'll be offering them. So these are adults that, you know, they have a life. So a couple things about it, very much like your college and career center my other hat, I'm wearing two hats, right? But through Region 1, we helped you all to open this year. So we'll be talking about, in this case, up to 3 shifts a day, and one from in the morning, like 8 to 12, one in the afternoon, and one at night, to accommodate adults' different life schedules and working schedules. So you can see there different kinds of counseling and coaching, connecting them to daycare services if they have children, anything that is going to facilitate them being able to attend. And then digital literacy, financial literacy. A lot of times adults, especially if they're over 30, over 40, they may or may not feel comfortable in our digital world we live in today. So helping them with that, job placement services, life coaching, and so forth. So so what this is, in essence, it's a charter high school. It's a charter high school, so the state will fund it the way they fund charter schools. So what that means is that once this program has enrollment, it will draw down weighted average daily attendance funding, much like your high school does. What it does not have is a tax base. It doesn't have taxing authority, so it doesn't really have facility money per se, other than applying for grants, looking for partnerships, and things like that. This high school, the state will be measuring it, just like it'll be accountable. So it'll be accountable for meeting enrollment goals. We've proposed to open, being very bold, we've proposed to open this year with up to 900 students across the region, up to 900 adult students across the region. And over a 5-year period, grow to the capacity of being able to serve 1,800 adults a year through this program. Some of them that will enroll might have only lacked a couple of credits. They might have only lacked exit exams or anything like that. So some of them will be in and out. In other words, they'll be in and in one semester they'll be out. Our job during that time is to try to help them get a certification or something on top, or help them transition to college. Others will never have even started high school. And so they will need a lot of help with their basic reading, their basic math, and then move on in, and they'll need tutoring and all of that, and then move them on into their credit-bearing courses. So there'll be 5 metrics that the state will hold accountable for. One is reaching the enrollment goals. 2 is, just like your regular high schools, what's the graduation rate? Are they, the state is not going to want to fund a program that people are coming in and leaving and almost nobody's getting a diploma. So they're going to be looking at, now they'll have specific metrics, knowing that this is a very challenging initiative, right? But the state will be setting graduation standards for these type of schools. The third one is the percent that get industry-based certifications and or transition on into higher education from there. The fourth one is employment. Do they get employment, or do they improve in their employment? So we'll be held accountable for that. And then the fifth one is wages. Are they making a living wage? Are they doing better than minimum wage? Are they doing, so are we lifting them up? So that's what the initiative is. And like I said, I love it. It's based on a passion that I have and work that started, years ago. In your folder is this little card, and if you know people, and I think Superintendent Ochoa and her team are going around town and putting things, people that are interested in enrolling can scan this QR code, and they can go to a Spanish option or an English option, and they can fill out just some very basic information to enroll and register. If we're oversubscribed, we go to a lottery process, kind of like the charters do, but they will be growing each year. I was I guess it was last week, I was walking the facilities with Superintendent Ochoa where the district is looking at college and career, where they're looking at a potential partnership with South Texas College. And I looked at the space there and I was seeing the synergy there, and I kind of mentioned to Superintendent Ochoa, you know, if there were enough adults here in that age range. Now, let me mention one more thing. From my Region 1 hat, we've done a lot of work to help you all stand up the 18 to 26-year-old program. So one commitment that I've made on this to the communities where that is going is that we're geofencing those districts, and if through this we recruit 18 to 26-year-olds, we're going to refer them very strongly to your district program to be their first option and their best option. And we'll focus primarily then on the 26 to 50. Now, if somebody just absolutely is like, no, I don't. But I think they're going to want that yellow jacket diploma if they can get that yellow jacket diploma, right? I know I would, right? So it's intended to be a partnership and not like not compete. But there's so many thousands of adults in our community that need this, that all of us pitching in together to do it. You know, I think over the next 5 to 10 years, we can change the story of the valley, the region. We can change the story of Hidalgo County. We can change the story of the Delta area of our county. So kind of in mentioning that and looking at the needs for equipment and things, I kind of mentioned to Superintendent Ochoa that if we could, I mentioned to her the synergy and said, wow, could you all locate here? And I said, well, there need to be enough numbers to make it viable. But if they were, it could work side by side with the college and career, and help each other, and also each program could apply for equipment and start getting equipment faster. And the other thing is, I know I talked to the president of South Texas College just 2 days ago, and I congratulated him for the public statement that he made that they would come here. And that's something I've been pushing for more than 10 years. Back when they passed their last bond issue, I met with the previous president, and I said you should be in the Delta area. Back when the congressman was involved trying to get them to use the building, and I talked to them and I said, because no matter what district or whatever I've been in, it's about all of our community. But I think I can see where if both are here, and then your high school and you're growing your early college work and your dual enrollment, all combined, I think that can incentivize also the college by having more numbers to help fill their classes so they have there. So I wanted just to present that to you in that conversation, and y'all may have an item on the agenda on it later today, or you may want other discussions on it. But I just want to thank you for the opportunity to present this to you. I want to thank you for the great partnership with Region 1 with that, and for a proposed new partnership with the possible Dream Foundation. I have mentioned to several people in here, there's different ways. I know Superintendent Ochoa and her team are looking at going out, and I think they've already started. And I've mentioned even like your cities could get involved. You could send, we could help produce little brochures with the QR code that you could send out. The cities could maybe send out with their water bills, or the district, if you're sending out communications, you could put it on your ISD and your city's work. So anything that gets the word out to the community better, so that you can get the numbers and help get the numbers, because if we address this population in a very powerful way, it can just really lift up the community. The other thing about it, I've always believed in a multi-generational approach. If the parents are learning and going to school and moving forward, it creates a whole new energy in the household, and it becomes a role model for the parents. And I've seen so many cases where the parent and the children now are studying side by side in the home. The children are seeing their parents studying, they're seeing their parents trying to get more education. So that it's one thing if they see their parents saying they value education. It adds some more if they see their parent actually investing in their own education and not just in their children. So that's what I have for you. I don't know if you have any questions for me. Other than that, I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. King. Certainly count on Ed Calchosa's full support in this endeavor. Sounds like a great program.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's on the agenda, Dr. King.
All right,
And
thank
I
you very
want to
much.
personally take the time, I toured the building where we are currently housing our CCC program for our 18 to 26 students. And Dr. King has been incredibly gracious with funding that project. And now with this possible dream, it's going to open and expand for the Delta area. So thank you for that. It is already in the consent agenda. So thank you for all you do and for your
Thank you.
team's support.
And the other thing, like I did mention, I'll just close with this, Unite classes also, so a great source also of students for this is your school district employees, your city employees that do not have their, any that do not have their high school diploma, to encourage them and create that pathway for them as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. King. Next item on the agenda are recognitions. We will recognize EdCal Chelsea High School 2025 Top 10 students, EdCal Chelsea High School 2025 STC Associates graduates, EdCal Chelsea High School Girls Powerlifting, EdCal Chelsea ISD Elementary Secondary campuses with the highest attendance rate for the 6 weeks. No, all of it.
They're all with the caption on.
All right, are we ready? 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 1, 2, 3. Come on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you start.
But they're also.
They're also, yes, we
And other captions for here, there are 27 are the associated with the sound or
So,
Yeah, we'll be up top. ready? Okay.
Right here. Right here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mary, would you like to say a few words about this being the biggest graduation class that we've had so far?
So we are recognizing our top 10 students here, and also our STC associate graduates. We have a total of 54 graduates that earned their 60 college hours, which is a total of 20 college classes. We're really excited. This is the most we've ever had in the history of Mendoza, and we want to thank our board for being so supportive, our superintendent, and of course our parents. Thank you so much, because without your help and your partnership, this wouldn't be possible. And thank you, students.
Congratulations, John.
Desi, would you like to say a few words about our girls' powerlifting team and the amazing things they accomplished?
I do actually. I have an incredible team, honestly. These ladies have accomplished a lot in the last few years. Actually, this is our 4th state title. We missed it by 1 point last year, and it kind of left a little sour taste. And we came back pretty strong. So I'm very fortunate to be part of this team. I'm blessed actually to be part of this team. And hopefully we can continue this streak in the next few years, but hopefully I'll get selected as a coach.
Can you talk about what it takes to be a powerlifter and just getting inside that outfit that they wear and how you have to slowly take it off because it's just such a...
Yes, teaching passion, teaching consistency is something I pray I do a lot. I show them, I'm a lifter myself, so I try to embed that in them to be there. Excuse me. I was fortunate, I'm super fortunate I was born like this. So.
You and I both.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And going back to that, just the consistency is a major part. And honestly, like I was telling the action instructor, is getting the girls to the field house, getting the girls there, because it's different breed. It's a different methodology with them. With the boys, I'm like looking at them and they're there. With the girls, that have to be, hey, where you're at? Hey, come over. Hey, you need to train. Hey, come on. I haven't seen you yet. You were here Monday. So it's a different approach for them, ladies. So I have to find that way to tell, hey, I need you here. Come on, let's lift. Come on, put some reps. So but you know what? I have, and again, I'll say it again, unless there are a strong group. These ladies put a lot of weight on them. And to see them lift that weight is incredible. And I teach a lot of mind. Hey, put it in your mind, you're going to go on, you got this. So if I could teach them that, and not only that, they take this on after high school. And this becomes a lifestyle, absolutely, yes.
Can we go down the line, starting with 80 here, and what's your total weight? I mean, not your, you know what?
80 is a 3-time state champion. No más. I mean, I have a lot of things to say about 80, but she's incredible. She's always doing multiple things. She actually does volleyball too as well. And you know, she's done this 3 times in a row, and so it's an incredible feat that she's done. So yes.
Do you remember how much you lifted at the state meeting?
She broke a record.
Yes.
Okay, we'll just say it.
No, I remember.
There's a lot of it. It's not going well. The lady? I'm sure it was a lot, right? We're just leaving it at that. So to further, so the banners are going to be going up in Capello, and this is going to be the new standard moving forward. We need to celebrate all of our victories and recognize them. And you know, just be part of alumni, which is a big deal, and we appreciate all of your sacrifices, and we understand not all of us live right now. I feel like sitting Thank you so much. Congratulations on all your amazing achievements.
Alright, right here, guys. Ready? 1, 2, no más. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Got it. Come on.
Congratulations.
We need a banner with the button.
Yes. Here, real quick. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, yes. Thank you, Ash. Thank you so much.
More. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Let's take a picture. Okay, okay.
No, but you have to be. We had a time. And I just want to say that the high school, and they were very, 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 very close. Look out next year. The high school had 85, almost 86%.
Yes, please. It's not here the baby guys. No, I'm already gonna set them up. I don't know why you're. Just started. We're going to have some vested interest. Next item on the agenda is presentation of Region 1 ESC SB 1882 Partnership Schools Custodial Team, cleaning schedules, and ground maintenance schedule.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Ochoa, and members of the board. This evening we have an update on the 1882. This is one of the things that we were discussing this actually about a few weeks ago. I know that normally we associate the SB 1882 with academics, but one of the things that Dr. Ochoa mentioned the last time, she says, you know what, why don't we share all of the other great things that we're doing. So, and we thought it was a wonderful idea. So the 1882 does not just include academics, but it includes other things such as what we're going to be covering today. It's important to know that we looked at all aspects of, you know, the education system here at Cal Chelsea. One of the things that we wanted to focus on as well was the environment. The learning environment is very important. So when Mrs. Olivares and I were writing the grant or the application, we said, you know, we need to include support and operations, maintenance and operations, and we have beautiful buildings. We want to showcase them. We know we're going to be one of the sites the visit sites from the state, you know. Right now, they're already calling us saying, what are you doing? You know, they heard the great news, and I know this is coming later, but of some of the improvements that we've done already without the formal SB 1882 partnership. So what we want to do today is talk a little bit about what we're doing in the area of maintenance and operation to ensure that our buildings are up to par and that we are, you know, taking care of all of the buildings. I know that I had the privilege of meeting with Mr. Borrego over at Santiago Garcia this week, and it's not even like, you know, we're going to be going around the campuses and giving feedback and all that. And this wasn't even his turn, but he's like so excited. He's like, Mr. Garza, can you get Mr. Saman on the line? And can you show him, you know, what we've been doing? So he was really excited to show us what he was doing, and we thought, yes, we can do it now, you know, but that's just the excitement that we've been seeing. So today we have Mr. Alvin Samano, who's one of our administrator for operations, and Mrs. Dalia Nieves, who is our maintenance coordinator, that's going to be giving the presentation.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, superintendent. It's my pleasure being here, but part of the partnership is to focus on campus cleaning, grounds maintenance, schedules, and staffing models, highlight improvements made and changes planned, request districts' help. Go back to me. Okay. Okay, the next slide. What is the partnership overview? It allows partnerships to support school improvements, operational components, safe, clean, and inspiring environments, a key pillar, enhancing learning spaces through strategic planning, facilities management. Next one. Why operational improvements matter? Clean, well-maintained environments promote student focus and attendance, encourage staff satisfaction and retention, reflect pride in our schools, directly tied to better academic and emotional outcomes. Next one. And I'm going to pass this. There's two components that we're looking at. It's the custodial and the grounds. At this point, I'm going to let our custodial facilitator, Dalia, talk about this a little bit.
Thank you. The custodial maintenance, right now they're working at the zone cleaning. We have the custodian assigned by area and inconsistent through the campus. We're proposing the team cleaning concept, custodian assigned as a team, and consistency through the campus. The team is with this side. The team is jumping.
Just go back a little bit. And we'll be brief. With custodial maintenance, currently they do zone cleaning. That means one person goes to different zones. And we're proposing team cleaning. That means they work as a team and they go out throughout the district. It shows consistency. They all work together.
On the team cleaning, assigning cleaning by task rather than area is much better because the employees will know exactly what are their responsibility and the task. And by them knowing their task increases efficiency, the quality, and the accountability of each custodian. Some of the example roles that we have is the light duty specialist, the vacuum sweeper specialist, the restroom specialist, and utility specialist. I have a video that we went to RCR to do the first training there. I want to say we have a strong custodial department there. Is this a way to play this video?
Just briefly.
Yeah, as you can see here, the custodians walked into the classroom. They already knew their responsibility, what task they're supposed to address when they got there. It only took them 3 minutes and 32 seconds to accomplish the whole classroom and the cleaning. As you can see, we have the light duty specialist who's responsible in cleaning the table, the desk of the students, picking up the chairs. For like that, the sweeper or the vacuum specialist can go through the area sweeping easier for them. As you can see here at the last, we have the utility specialist. He is responsible to haul all the trash out, make sure that all tasks has been completed by each custodian. Once task is completed, you will go ahead and turn off the light, secure the classroom, and continue to the other classroom. I have another video that I added. I'm also RCR. Like I said, awesome custodial staff. They started at the beginning not understanding the team cleaning concept. I want to say 30 minutes of me training them, 35, they already knew what they had to do when they came into the classroom. Same scenario here. We have 2 persons sweeping because there's no restroom in the classroom, and we have 1 person taking care of the dry eraser and all the desks are being cleaned. And this one, because the furniture was less and the position the way it's arranged, only took him 2 minutes and 42 seconds to accomplish the classroom. Team cleaning schedule is a daily task. Is reminding them what their responsibility is during the day. Is the classroom sweeping, mopping, sanitizing the desk, the restroom, making sure that it's clean. Is always refurnished, stocked, and disinfected for our students. Hallways, mop, trash removal, constantly during the day, they'll be addressing all this. Weekly, they'll go ahead and schedule when is the buffer needs to be done, the dusting of the beds, or even addressing the windows and the main entrance of the campus. We also have the monthly, which the head custodian may schedule the deep cleaning rotation, restroom cleaning, steam cleaning, even rewashing or rewaxing the floors if it's needed from the gym or the cafeteria area. This is actually this is a schedule that we implemented at RCR Rodriguez. We still have to tweak it a little bit, but I would like to share with you really quick. As you can see, we have 4 custodians there, and they're missing. They have a sub-custodian. We have the head custodian responsibility that comes in the morning. He opens the campus. He makes sure that the main entrance of the campus is ready for our students, staff, and our parents. He will continue with the schedule. Here he has to address the gates. He opens the gate, and then he will continue doing the breakfast area, delivering the breakfast to the classroom. As you can see, he leaves at 9 o'clock. I have the second person that comes in at 8:30. Once this person comes in, he will tag along with the morning person and continue assisting with the breakfast. Once that is accomplished, as you can see, every 30 minutes consistency where the custodian has a task in the area that he's supposed to be addressing the restroom, the hallways, the trash cans around the area, and it'll continue like that until it's time for him to leave for his lunch. Then we have the other 2 custodians, and the reason, let me share this real quick. The reason I put it here at 10 o'clock on the G for them to team up is because the pre-K students, when they go to the cafeteria to have lunch, that gives the time and ability for the custodian to go in and address the restrooms for the pre-K. Instead of those restrooms being without attendant to the end of the day, they will go in during the day, disinfected, refurnished, clean and mop, and have it ready for the students when they return back from lunch. The restrooms have been addressed in the classroom. So once they're done taking care of the task, they will resume with the cafeteria duties. They will remain there until it's time for them to leave a lunch, and before they leave from the cafeteria, their responsibility is to ensure that the floors are being mopped, the tables of the cafeteria are being cleaned, and all the restrooms and everything is being addressed and is ready for the next day or for any event that is being done in the afternoon at the afternoon programs. Once they go out to lunch, as you can see, everybody at 3 o'clock, they meet in the disciplinary area, which is the G. G because that's the area.
Oh, no, it's because you stood right underneath it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has a sensor.
G is the area where the pre-K students are at. The reason we start there is because they tend to leave first from the classroom, which that allows the custodian to have a 15 to 20 minutes ahead before the dismissal of the students to come out. So if you notice, every 30 minutes, they start with the cleans. Each of them has the same responsibility, and they're reading the task, and then we take them 3 to 4 minutes to accomplish it. They'll continue with the schedule as they go until the last is the gym. I want to say RCR, the custodians, they understood the schedule less than 35 minutes, and that day that we did the training on the first day, they finished the whole campus by 6:55. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Have any questions?
And just go back to the schedule real quick. Just the biggest difference between zone and the team cleaning is the whole team starts the team cleaning at 3 o'clock. They're all working together. It's constant maintenance. This has been around for a while. Is that it? Go ahead.
Yes. So, like Mr. Samuel mentioned, when you have the zone area that the custodian, they take ownership. So what happened is they come in from the morning and they don't want to move from that area. They just want to stay there because that's their area, that ownership. And if they need any assistance in any other area, we hear where they say, oh, that's not my area, I don't want to go over there, I'm busy. And what happened? That area stay unattended until the other custodian comes in, either at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the afternoon. With this schedule team cleaning, the whole facility is everybody's responsibility. It's the whole building. Since they come in the morning, they need to know that they have to address the campus, have it ready for our students, our parents, and for our staff. I'm going to go ahead and pass this to Mr. Samano. You go ahead and talk about the grounds.
Just like custodial, we also schedule, but the current situation is that there's irregular mowing schedule from campus to campus. What we have, or what you have, is you have somebody mowing one campus, and that's where he's always at, somebody else at another campus. And they're very hard workers, that they're mowing all day long, I see that. The grounds crews are assigned by areas, like I said, one's in different schools. I think you have 2 schools where you source it out, and they come every 2 weeks. And the plan is to mow the grass every week, because then after a week it starts to begin, you can see the shabbiness there. And then because everybody's at a different area, there's inconsistency throughout the district. The proposal is to have team weekly mowing schedule, and we have a schedule just like we've used with custodial. Grounds crews are assigned as a team, and then the consistency is throughout the district. So it's the same team doing RCR, the high school, whatever it is.
And that's what if I could just add, are we, for the sake of consistency, are we implementing some of this in those campuses or not?
So the reason that I had the conversation with Dr. Garza is because not only did they graciously agree to come to present, but also to provide the training to all our campuses for free.
Great, thank you.
We like free.
We just need your support because with change, there comes resistance. But just know that our intentions are good. They're for the kids. We have beautiful buildings. We want to showcase them. We want to make sure that everybody understands that, this is very important to us. We've been doing this with several districts, and nobody wants to leave this.
That's awesome.
It's
I'm
been,
sorry to interrupt.
No, and feel free.
We had 47 at the PSJ.
Yeah.
And, we did one.
We did this in Hidalgo back in the 90s, and then at PSJ, we teamed up with Ali, a bunch of schools there, a bunch of yards. But once a week, the yards are clean. Every day, there's team cleaning going on at all the campuses. And now we're doing it at a very small scale at Region 1. But now we're beginning to help the different districts that are seeking our help. So the weekly trash pickup around the perimeter. I mean, every day when they go out there, they're going to pick up the trash, and we've included that in the team cleaning, custodial, edging, mowing, blowing, and debris removal. So they hit a campus, that's what they're going to do. All of them doing the same thing at the same time. You have 5 people instead of 1 person. Monthly, you do the granite beds. If we have some there at Region 1. We weed them and rake them out. The landscaping of the beds bi-yearly. We mulch, palm trees, tree trimming, and when we look at the schedule, you can see how this one was created just for, this one's Region 1. Yeah, and this one is broken up. We do Region 1 to 68 hours. And they're part of the maintenance staff. They come out, and you can see this, they're scheduled. At the very beginning from 6, they come in at 6 so they don't break windshields and stuff like that. That's before the cars come in. They start doing the mowing, the trimming, the blowing, and then they go all the way down to 11 when they go to lunch, or 10 o'clock they go to lunch, 11, and then after that they go do maintenance stuff inside. But this is a schedule that's created specifically for whatever area we go. It'll be different here. I started a schedule for this district, and that's just when I met Dr. Ochoa, and she said, why don't you just present it to the board, and that's why we're here. We need your support. But it's very detailed. The employees, after a week, they'll know where they're supposed to be. Mondays are going to be here, Tuesdays are going to be here, Wednesdays are going to be here. It's just consistent. This is just a tool so that Mr. Rodriguez knows where they're supposed to be at any time of the day or the morning or the week. But what's the next one? What's changing? Team schedule, staff training programs, custodial grounds consistency. And that's what we've learned throughout the years at Hidalgo, PSJ, Region 1, that it has to be consistent always. What's the request for support? These changes need help us provide the best learning environments. Commitment for all levels is essential. We're asking for your continued support, input, and partnership. Thank you. Now, are there any questions? That's the end of our presentation, but I want to thank you for letting us be here to present, and we're very excited every time we go to the school. This will be actually the very first grounds, first district where we use the ground schedule. So I feel very proud and confident that we can make a difference. Any questions?
Thank you. Well, let there be no doubt that EdCal Chelsea is fully committed to SB
Thank you, sir.
1882. I mean, so thank you. I know Dr. Joe's been part of this team since the beginning, and thank you so much for getting us this far. And that schedule's impressive, right, Nano?
It is. Let's see. Let's see how we can go from there.
Every 30 seconds, we know where they're at, what they're supposed to be doing. There's breaks. I mean, they take their lunch period.
And let me
No one's overworked.
I'm sorry, let me just add, example, if somebody's out because we're missing a custodian, that's what it said. The whole camp is gonna be treated like everybody said, there's no such thing without even being clean. And usually that happens when you're doing the zone. The area, there's nobody to clean that section, what happens, they just go in, take out the trash, and it will stay like that. Because that area will not be ready for the students for the next day. With the team cleaning, the whole campus, the whole facility is gonna be addressed equally. It's not gonna be where one area is gonna be clean or tended exactly as the other area. So the team's cleaning does work and it makes a difference. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Next presentation is Elsa Police Chief Robert McGinnis' presentation on the Teen Life Skills Summer Program for ages 14 to 18 on the life skills every teen needs. Chief McGinnis.
I hear you guys have a real tough city manager. Is that true?
No, he's walking.
He's a jerk. No, he's very supportive, and I appreciate the school board. Speaking with Dr. Ochoa, she asked, the school board has been, or the school has been very supportive thus far. We're hoping to continue that partnership. She asked that we come do a presentation. Basically, we look at it, we believe that if the police department and the school district can continue to partner up, it helps better prepare our kids to create safer and stronger communities. The kids that are here today are going to be sitting there not too far in the distant future. And so, we want them prepared. The Teen Life Skill Program, and this is a progress in the impact we've had so far. It's a 5-week program for kids 9th to 12th grade. The topics that we're covering at this point, we're hoping to build on it. We have 5 different classes that we do right now. Confidence and communication, personal finance, job readiness and career exploration, social media and digital responsibility, and community service and leadership. Those are the 5 we're doing right now. We're in the middle of our first session. We got a great response for the first session, and we have an overwhelming response for another session. The school asked if we could do another session, and as of yesterday, we have 65 people for the next session. So we'll have reached almost 90 kids through this summer. So where do we get the kids? Most of them are court ordered, okay? But those are the kids we wanted to reach. These are the kids that are going to have the issues as we move forward, to try to create a better relationship with them. They're gaining confidence and practical tools for life. We've had strong attendance and participation. I'll be honest with you, I teach the first one, which is the confidence and communication, and it was a rough day. It was a rough day because you're having to try to get these kids to open up. It's a communication class, so guess what? You got to get up and talk. You got to say something, By the end of it, I was, I'll take the little wins. I had like 2 or 3 of them come to me and actually thank me. By the time we did the second one, we did the second one last week, which is one of the things that I didn't mention. What we do here is we try to find somebody that lives this every day. So personal finance, they actually came in for Rio Bank and taught that. The job readiness and stuff, that'll be Workforce Solutions. And all of this is volunteer. Nobody's being paid. It's all volunteer. But by the time we came around to the second one, they were actually way more engaging. They asked more questions. So I see as we move along, they're getting more comfortable and they're opening up some. We want to thank the school district, obviously, access to the facilities. Starting this Saturday coming up for the next one, which is the job readiness, Dr. Ochoa has allowed us, we're going to be able to use the technology building here at the school. And then for the second session, there's 65. Hopefully that room's big enough, but we'll figure it out. We'll pile them in there. And also the nutrition staff, they've been providing breakfast and lunch, and we're really appreciative of that. I came up with this idea, and I had this much money to make it happen. Zero funds. And so,
City manager?
you know, I'll go back to my original statement.
It's everyone's statement.
The school's been instrumental in the promoting and the referrals by staff, particularly the truancy, Ms. Rios, has been tremendous on this. Worked a minute ago. What we're hoping, and I did add some future collaboration in here, what we're hoping for. Coming up this new school year, we're going to start a Texas Public Safety Cadet Program, which basically, if you Explorer program, most people have heard of an Explorer program. This is where it's gone to. This is what it's called now. We already actually have our post. We have mentors that have already taken their training, and we're going to be working with the law enforcement, the fire service, programs that you have to recruit kids for that. Another thing that we've signed up for that we're doing is Books with Badges. It's a literacy program. We're going to send officers into the school to read to the elementary kids. As we do this, they will actually, this program will provide the books to the kids that we can give away. So I don't know how often we'll be able to do it with the books, but my goal is to get into school once every couple of months at the most, even if we're not giving books away, at least so we can read with the kids. The other thing that I have coming up, and it's going to be for this year, and I'd already talked to Dr. Ochoa, and we're looking for the school to help nominate kids that we can look for, is Chief for the Day. So a student will get sworn in as an honorary chief. They'll go through a morning briefing. That briefing will obviously be scripted, so they're not exposed to anything that they shouldn't be exposed to. They'll tour city facilities. Have lunch. They'll get an honorary badge. They'll get an honorary uniform. They'll be able to go to school, tour their school in their uniform. And we believe that's going to create more positive law enforcement exposure and promote responsibility and leadership. And I think it'll, you know, our genuine hope, and this is what I told Dr. Ochoa, I have two goals. One is we graduate a better educated student. We would like every kid to go to college, but in the real world, that's probably not going to happen. So we want to give them some tools to at least give them a better start coming out. I wish I had some basic personal finance when I got out of school. You know, I think all of us kind of went through that low spot and said, wow, boy, did we make some mistakes. So we're hoping to do that. The second part is to create better relationships with local law enforcement. Not just us, but the Ed Couch, the surrounding areas. Our program's not just open to Ed Couch, also it's open to anybody that wants to come around. Last thing is I want to thank the school district. I mean, we could not be doing this if it wasn't for the school district. I will tell you right now, and I told Dr. Ochoa I was going to bring this up. You've been interim now, what, month and a half? 4 weeks, so a month. I've been the chief in Elsa for 6 years. I've had more cooperation with the school district in the last month than I've had in 6 years. She's done a great job. She cares about the community. She cares about the students. And I think if we can continue this relationship, we will build a better community for everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Chief.
And that's all I have. If anybody has any questions.
Any questions?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all.
Awesome job.
See you in the morning, Chief.
I'll be there at 6:30.
Yeah, you will see you at 9. Which one?
So at least we're not the only ones that think that he's a jerk.
Looks like I skipped the Project Empower and presentations.
President Ibarra, members of the board, Dr. Ochoa, thank you for giving us some time.
Little sibling presentation we got going.
Tag team, we'll do a tag team right now.
Who's older anyway?
Technically me. By a couple of days. So, a little backstory. One of the areas that we struggle here in Ed Couch, Elsa, is giving our kids opportunities to gain real-life work experiences, especially for students with disabilities. So, a couple of weeks ago, Dr. Ochoa calls me with, it wasn't really an idea, it was more like a project, like, hey, I need for you to help me do something. So when I started to hear about it, it was something that we had started to do before by ourselves, but we really couldn't do it. So when Dr. Cho comes along, like, we started thinking, like, yeah, this can be done now. So we started to think about ways to start business incubator type of deal for our students, especially students with disabilities. So the first project that we want to do is like a cafe, a jacket cafe, that I know I cannot do it by myself. So we want the previous page. We fight a lot when we're presenting something. So we want to give our kids in the units, our CHAMPS kids, the other unit students and special ed students these opportunities. So in order for us to do that in this type of setting, a cafe, we needed some help. So we started to collaborate. So here comes the cake director with a culinary class, with the business classes. So like, hey, we know that we have special ed kids in those classes. We know that those kids in the class need to work on some of these projects, so please help me out. So we're talking, and then we said, you know what, we need equipment, especially for the cafe. So here comes Cynthia Flores, our food nutrition director. Like, hey, can you help us do this? Like, yeah, we can do that. So where can we do this? At the Mercado. All right. So, Rudy, this is the room that we want to use. Can you help us outfit it with electricity and water for this cafe? Of course we can do that. So the vision started with Dr. Ochoa. We came up with some ideas. So we want to start off a cafe with our business incubator mentality and grow from there. We know that Mercado, earlier today we wanted to bring in, try to fit different rooms for different purposes, and one of them was the media center for Pete Vallejo. So hey, so that's another opportunity that maybe we can send our kids to gain some world experiences. So the project overview, the page before. The first one will be our hive, using our CHAMPS kids, using our culinary arts teacher or students to cook the food, bring to us, and we sell. And then along the way, they learn about business, right? And we can also send the business students to help us and do some of that work. We're going to come up with the logistics as to when is that cafe going to be open, some designated hours throughout the day or designated days that we can use to incentivize our students, attendance awards or something. And we also want to open it up to our community. So we feel that this is a perfect opportunity to encompass as many kids as we can, including our kids with special ed. But we know that I had tried it with special ed by ourselves. That really didn't work. But here comes our superintendent, here comes the rest of the district and the community, and we'll make it happen. The benefits, of course, hands-on experience for our students, the development of soft skills and leadership skills, integrating classroom learning with real-life experiences, and a lot of student-led management roles and maybe even certifications. The funding will be shared. Of course, some of it will become through Kate. Some of it will be self-sustained with the products that we sell, and also our special ed funds and some of the local funds as well. These are some of the illustrations that it might look like, but our goal is to use the whole Mercado in some sort of way to bring up the what we don't have, right? Some of these opportunities in our cities, but we're going to take matters into our own hands and create our own, so our students in the community can take advantage of something like this.
Go ahead, now.
No, I was going to say very nice. I like the presentation. I like the concepts. It's a good job.
I think Virgil did the presentation all on his own.
He is from Ed Couch.
And a positive note, the building is in Ed Couch, so of course we'll continue growing.
And I was about to say, is there any way we could take the Jacket Hive, especially during basketball games and volleyball games, over to the?
How about a little cart?
Well, I'm just saying, just nachos and sodas and waters. I mean, that's all right, but we should elevate everything, right?
Yeah, of course.
So maybe
Concession
have
type
them
is
sell
expensive, yeah, so
more
we have,
appealing, a little.
we have the car, I mean, the food truck that Dida has, so of course we can rebrand it to different things, and this is just a start, right? So
Well, it's a good
hopefully,
start. Good job.
so we can get started. So this is just a presentation. I know later on in the consent agenda items will really.
Sure, our own little Trader Park,
Well, one thing you could also add is like official apparel.
I mean-
Like official apparel for.
Yes.
Official caps, official shirts.
Yeah, so the team is being very modest, and I want to thank them because I literally just called them and I'm like, hey, so I was thinking, what about this? And right away they're like, let's do it. And it grew from a cafe to a thrift store to selling our own apparel, to having one of the rooms be a parent center so the parents can come and help and collaborate and learn those life skills and how to teach them to the kids, to also having the professional development for parents there, working with our parents that are having the truancy, holding our parent engagements there. So we hope that it's a go, because Rudy right away came in too, and he already ran the water for the cafe. So kind of started the momentum, but again, couldn't have done it without the team. It's like I brought the idea, but they're ready to work, and we're very excited for our community. And so thank you all.
Thank you.
All of y'all. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say that when you allow our administrators to think freely and take on certain challenges, they do. I'm proud of y'all. Good job. Next item on the agenda are superintendent reports.
So the first item, I'm going to be very quick about it. So it's important that the U.S. Board of Trustees and our community recognize the value of students being in school every day, not just because of the learning, but because it continues to allow us to offer the resources that our educators and most of all our students need. So right here, what you're seeing in front of you is just the first to the last 6 weeks. So the way the state basically determines how we get our funding, they allow us to take the best 4-6 weeks, and at the bottom you can see which ones they are. So it was the first, the first, the second, the third, and the fifth 6 weeks. And so that is how our ADA is generated. So if you can see at the bottom, for 2024-2025 district totals, our enrollment was at 4,618. The percent of our attendance was 90.85, and the ADA generated on the average of the best 4-6 weeks was 3,703. So basically that's just how it is calculated. So I just wanted to let you know that we are working very hard to ensure that our kids are in school every day learning and thriving. The next report is a truancy report, and I apologize, there's a lot of information, so it's a little small, but essentially what the report shows is all the students from the different campuses that have participated in truancy court. There was a total from all of the campuses, 192 students that were required with their parents or legal guardian to come to court. Court started the first court started in February 7th to 25, and the last one for this academic year was June 11th. We actually had, of the 351 that were mandated to attend, 226 that came, and this was very important for me to share with you, that before we had the truancy court, we had a total, and these are based on second period, or what is considered the ADA attendance period. That is how they determine our funding, was 7,226 absences. After the court hearings, it went to 1,184 absences. So there was, pretty significant. There was a total of 140 fines that were given out to parents, and they varied from $250 to $400. In some cases, one parent was fined, and some 2 parents were fined. And then those who were participated in the mandated counseling training, our counselors are doing an amazing job meeting with the parents. They meet with them 5 times 5 sessions teaching them about the importance of their child coming to school, a lot of psychoeducation, a lot of dealing with some of the parents just don't know how to deal with the behavioral issues. There are some drug addiction issues, so we're referring to the in-house Texas Tropical that we have. So a lot of the resources that are being provided. Next school year is going to be mandated that they participate in our counseling parent trainings that will be happening at the Mercado. And so there was, as I said, 140 of those, 84. And then as a result, after the truancy of the ones that were mandated, we have had 19 that have withdrawn. However, the team has been made some home visits, and we are working on, making sure that these students and the parents recognize that dropping out to avoid fines is not the answer. It's about coming. We'll give them the resources and help them, to stay in school and do well in school. So the total, again, for the total count that was fined, it was at 140. The total calculated was $64,436 in fines. To date, we haven't collected anything, but it's because it goes through the court system, and then the court system, there's a portion that comes to the district that's going to be used, again, for parent education, for psychoeducation for the students. Any questions?
No. Not better report. 7,000.
So the next, thank you. The next report, this was an initiative that we started for the first time this year. And again, I talked to the team and I'm like, hey, what if we do a bash, a pre-registration bash? We always have them after the fact, but we're chasing kids. So before the bash, we had 1,152 students that had registered. After the bash, and then through some initiatives, and I really want to thank our nutrition department because they've been out in the community at the splash pad in Elsa, and we've registered students there. We're taking every opportunity. We've got a Dr. King's Countdown to Zero that I learned about when he helped us a few years ago, and I kept it. So we've got teams in place that are going to be going out into the community. But after that, we've gone from 1,152 students that are already registered to 2,499. The goal for our team is for everyone to be registered, and when they come for registration, it'll be more of a celebration to pick up their supplies. The next report is our projected employee count by fund and position for the from 2020 to 25-26. And so this report is really important because, like many other districts, that are struggling with the finances, we're trying to be very proactive. This board has been very committed to make sure that, we do not let go of valuable employees, but we recognize that we do need to make sure that all our talent and resources are used effectively. So this report just basically shows the different areas of where we've had our staff and the staffing patterns, and we went from 2021 all the way to 2025-26. And here, if you notice, we started increasing a little bit every year, and in 23-24, that was the highest at 834 employees, and then in 2025, 813. As a result of some resignations, retirements, and some program changes that were made this year, we are now at 756 employees, and we're going to work as diligently as we can to keep that hiring freeze to ensure that we are fiscally responsible. Just for information's sake, currently we do have 6 teachers that through retirement, resignation, or through different placement that we still need to place. We have 27 teacher assistants that through the TASB study and through the placement that we've noticed that we also have placements for, 15 clerical, and then 8 custodial. So the goal for the team is to conduct an audit and to synchronize the personnel and payroll modules through a sender. So basically, just make sure that everyone is placed where they need to be, and how do we optimize everyone's capacity in the school district. So, for example, an employee is closed out due to retirement or resignation or termination. When the payoff occurs, they are inactivated on the payroll module, but not in the personnel module. So we need to make sure that we have a checks and balances, and we always know exactly what employees we have and in what area. And then we are going to be conducting an internal control audit that will begin in 2025, again, to make sure that we've got the employees placed in the places that they are needed the most. Any questions? All right, and then the one thing that was a little startling, and I felt that it needed to be brought to everyone's attention, is we currently participate with Region 1 through their sub-hub. So anytime we have staff that requires a substitute, primarily teachers, but there have been custodial staff as well, that they call substitute. So for the 24-25 school year, we had a total of 7,101 substitutes that were called in. From that, this is the part that was a little startling. Of the 7,101, 597 were coded for personal or sick leave. However, in the NA, the non-applicable, there was 5,251. So just to explain what the NA means, that essentially there was 5,251 absences, but they were not applied to anyone's record. So essentially they were free days off, but the district was paying for a substitute.
Do you have the total of the 5,251? What did
you
translate to fiscally?
Fiscally, well, I have it broken down over here, yeah. So then for professional development, it was 889 absence substitutes related to that. For UIL, it was 241 substitutes that were called for that. Athletics, it was 923 substitutes related to that. And then as of May 29th, the cost was over $1 million in substitutes.
Question is, those 5,251, you're saying that they basically, no sick time was taken from their...
So yeah, so for example, we have 10 days, 5 local and 5 state. So if you were one of the 5,251, neither your sick day or a personal day was taken.
But we understand who these 5,251 people are, right?
So we have a very 5,251 that we are going to be looking at every single day, and then
I'd like a follow-up next month as well on this one. I want to look for patterns. I want to see the people that were obviously calling in sick, and I want to see the patterns. You know, if they were calling in on Mondays after holidays, Fridays, every Friday, things like that. I want to understand their behavior.
I think more importantly is you can account for the personal and sick. It's the 5,000 plus that are.
Yeah, but these, if we're looking at them, there should be something as for what they were. That's what you're looking at into right now.
Exactly.
Understanding what, in other words, there might be people here that all need to be deducted sick time or personal time.
Exactly. And so just so you know, moving forward, the issue is that with the sub-hub, you can request your own substitute. So the principal probably will find out after the fact. So what's going to be instituted this year is that we're going to go back to the basics, where the principal was called. Then the principal will then have the secretary call the substitute, so that way we can make sure that it translates into not only finding out if there's a pattern of a teacher being out that's impacting the learning, but also is it translating to the days making it into the payroll department and the days being deducted. And this leads into one of the initiatives that is further into the agenda.
So this is just the sub-hub. So every time somebody's out, the 7,101, on average, it's $145 a day, right? This is what we're paying sub-hub? And then we're still paying the person who's out?
Exactly, so you're paying twice.
So I'd like to, if you could add that to your report for next month?
Yes, sir. Yeah. And the other thing that just from these numbers, I'm really plugging it. From these numbers, it was an average of 42 staff members out daily. And so again, there's an initiative in the discussion where I'd like us to consider, or you all to consider creating our own substitute pool.
I think we need to go back to that. I think we need to, you have better control. Now, does SubHub understand that no longer will people be allowed to call in their own substitutes?
So there's systems in place to where you can only allow, as I said, the principal would have the access and the secretary would have the access to be the one to actually use it. But more importantly, I'd like the consideration for us to use internal staff. As I mentioned, we're over on some staff and creating our own.
I think that's a good move. I think, yep, that's part of the direction we should probably go. Is that something that has to be brought up in middle?
Yeah, it could be a bit more work for the actual campus, but that's the only way we're gonna get a hold of it.
I was under the impression until I think a couple of months ago that it was done like the old days. Principal, not the secretary, called in a substitute.
We brought in SubHub a few years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I always thought the principal knew. All right, I think this is something monthly in your report.
Yes, thank you.
And we'd like to see a running total, maybe the current year as well, a running total as to every month how many people are missing.
Legal has a suggestion. I'm not going to suggest it, but legal.
What would legal like to suggest?
So some districts have in their DEC local, their leaves and absences policy where they prohibit leave to be taken on Fridays, Mondays, and days before holidays. And,
extended holidays.
All that kind of good stuff.
Why don't we look at that?
So, yeah, we can review it. You may already have it, but we can review to make sure it's being implemented.
So there's people that could be violating our policy.
Potentially.
I think that's a good idea.
And then lastly, the very preliminary scores, but I want to thank the administration, the leadership, Region 1 for all their support. You do have for the board, you do have preliminary accountability ratings. I'm not sharing them with the public because they're very preliminary, but I do want to go ahead and just share some of the results. And again, for those that are watching and for the board, just a reminder that when we look at what the scores represent, so for approaches, remember there is some understanding. There's some understanding of the knowledge, but they don't fully grasp the concept. For the meat, there's a good understanding of the material, and they're performing at a grade level, and they are generally prepared to go to the next grade level. And then, of course, masters is a strong understanding of the material, and they're well prepared to go to the next grade level. So we're going to start off with our math. So with our math, I like to just kind of use the colors because the colors tell the story. So the red is the did not meet, the approaches is in the purple, the meets is in the blue, and then the masters in the green. And you can see the district all the way to every single campus. And what I really want to point out is that this year we had a lot of pluses. So every plus that you see, so for example, in the district, you will see in the approaches that we went up 5 percentage points, and in the masters 3 percentage points. So across every campus, there were some gains. On the 4th grade math, the similar pattern, again, throughout the district. I want to point out that, for example, Santiago Garcia in their masters went up 17%, and LBJ in their masters went up 15%. In the 5th grade math, again, the same type of pattern. And here, as you can see throughout, there were some gains. I'd like to point out that JFK in the approaches went up 25% from the previous test administration. Going into our next slide of their 6th through 8th math. So we have David Ibarra along with Truan with the 7th and 8th grade. Again, here I'd like to point out that at David Ibarra in the approaches it went up 17%, and we definitely had some gains throughout, although small, but there were some gains in the 7th grade, and then some gains in the 8th grade. We've already established what the areas of need are, and we have put in, for the first time, an initiative, and I want to thank Mari, Mary, and Jesse, and all the principals that have already started working on the assessments that are going to be geared to where it shows that we need to be really going over the material and just doing a lot of drill and drill for the students. So for Algebra 1, you can see some gains in the high school academy. In the approaches, you're going to see a 13% gain, and then as a district, that overall gain as well. For the English Language Arts, we've got our district 3rd grade reading, and you can see that across the board, there were some steady gains. Again, Santiago Garcia in the approaches did go up 14%, which is very significant from the last testing period last year. For our 4th grade reading, as you can see, there are gains across, but with LBJ, you can see gains at 14% in the approaches, in the meets, as well as 14% in the masters. In our 5th grade reading, there are gains across, and they're very steady gains, as you can see on the side note, with Garcia having a 9% gain in the approaches. Our 6th through 8th grade reading, exceptional gains with our 6th graders in the approaches, a gain of 12%, as well as in our meets, another gain of 12%, and steady gains at the 7th and 8th grade as well. Our English 1, as you can see here, there was some progress, but there are definitely some areas that we know, and the team is already working on addressing them through the curriculum and spiraling and going back and reviewing the scope and sequence. For English 2, you can see that there are some struggles here as well. However, we were steady in not losing any points. In our science, in our 5th grade science, we did have a significant gain in our approaches through JFK at a gain of 19% in the approaches, and then in LBJ in the approaches a significant gain of 22%, and steady gains throughout the other campuses. For our 8th grade science, we did have some gains in our meets at 9%. For our biology, in the academy, we had some gains in the approaches of 18%, and then in the meets of 25%, and then steady gains at the high school. And then lastly, our social studies for 8th grade. Again, we have already been reviewing and studying where it is that we need to make our changes with Mari and the rest of the team. For our U.S. history, looks very nice because you see a lot of that purple with the approaches. So a lot of progress and continued progress in that content subject. And that is the report for our preliminary STAR scores.
Nano, how do you think about the color coding there?
Color coding looked good. The only thing I'd say where we show progress, I'd like to see maybe the last 2 to 3 years data just to see, we should have, and I don't want to be negative, I think they're doing a good job, but I want to see where we were at, where we took the dip, and where we're headed. I want to see that type of approach.
Did you say good job when it came to academics?
I did say good
oh, nice,
job.
Thank you.
But great job.
Great job, everyone. Yes. Next item is flood damage report. Who's doing that?
Rudy?
Rudy looks surprised like that. Oh shit, it's me?
Good evening, Board President, members of the board, and Dr. Sandy. This is the damage that we had on the 12th of June. It was basically at our high school north building. This was inside throughout the high school, but the most damage was concentrated at the southwest corner of the B Hall, where it was not rain damage, it was wind damage. A roof peeled off like 20, 30 feet across. So we have those pictures, Joe. Keep going. Next. Next. Here we go. This is basically the wind damage that we had done. I called in D.L. Johnson. They did a temporary fix, so the water will not be going in if it keeps raining this weekend. But we have a major problem on this roof that we need to address here in the near future. As you can see the metal decking. It's all rotten.
When was the last time we checked, we fixed these roofs?
This one particularly, we got a roof coating installed like 3.5 years ago. And it's held up. But this is a underlying problem, the roof decking, that is all gone.
Yeah, we just coated them. We didn't get into them.
And it'll work, and it's held up pretty decent. But this time, because of the wind, it got torn up.
And the wind was bad.
It was.
It tore up my roof.
It was. And that's at the high school. The other place that we have a problem is at our technology. Which there we've gotten quotes already to do like an overlay with the membrane that I showed you about a month ago or something like that, Mr. President. And that's what we're at right now on that one. Those are my two main roof leaks that I have right now.
But
Do you have cost estimates?
I'm sorry, but at the technology, didn't we fix that a couple of years ago when we did the whole remodel?
It's been more than a couple of years.
We did a patch job in the back part of the technology building. But now it's the top roof, it's a mess. That TPO didn't hold up very well.
Was there any warranty on that roof? I mean, it's not, I mean, because it hasn't been too long.
That one was done, when,
2016, 17, it was right
When we remodeled everything, it was almost.
yeah, we tried the warranty, they said, we had no warranty on that roof because we've done stuff to it like the metal coping and stuff like that, so your warranty's gone.
Did we file the claim already?
We have filed claims, and I think we're gonna file another one on the June 12th storm. So,
I guess next, maybe come in with some cost estimates and we can start preparing ourselves.
well, I have one for the technology
All
building.
right, hit us. What is it?
160,000
That's not too bad.
for an overlay. It'll be an overlay,
Hurricanes. Hurricane winds.
and that one comes
we
with
should wait till after hurricane season.
that one comes with a 20-year warranty on the material and the labor. That's why I like that one. Through JJ Roofing from Waco, Texas.
But does it include when it's damaged in a storm or just wear and tear?
Excuse me?
Like a
The
warranty?
20-year warranty, I was gonna ask that.
Is it?
Wear and tear.
But not damage in a storm?
Damages also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I talked to Robert from Duralast, and that product is very, very good, and they warranty it.
Well, for the 160,
It's not bad.
we'll discuss it, but I mean, yeah, especially 20 years, and we're gonna be warranted for 20 years.
We still gotta go through the process.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Sandy, I sent her an email with a price for that roof at Technology.
And would they happen to be on a co-op?
They are on a co-op, they're on TITS.
There you go, man.
Anything else, Bruce?
I have other leaks that we can,
But how are the buildings doing?
the bills are doing good. Yeah, we're good.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rudy.
Next item on the consent agenda items.
So moved. Second.
The motion is second. Motion made by Mr. Torres, seconded by Mr. Lozano. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against? Next items are discussion and action items. I'm gonna move up. Actually, we're gonna take back A and F to executive to discuss with legal, and I'd like to move up, or let's go with B, right? Ed Couch. Discussion and action on approval of the detention pond project.
Great city of Ed Couch is represented by?
Is that the same one we've been discussing, or is there major changes?
No, there've been some changes, right? There've been some updates.
Could be a linear?
So, we did a survey of the property that we have been discussing with the board. I know we've been in a lot of communication with the school board. And we have come to an agreement with the 7.58 acres, which is going to be the very, very back end of the David Ivada property. So that is what we're proposing to get approved for the detention pond. The detention pond will help facilitate all the northern part, the flooding of the city of Ed Couch, and all the school districts and everything on the north side as well. So I know we have several problems areas all on the north side, which is JRG, RCR, the Fine Arts, the FFA, that will help alleviate by that detention pond project. We did get HUD funding and we're ready to go as well. We have created our accounts already with the city. We have created our committee already with the city, and we're ready to go. We just need the land.
I think we're good, Chief. We got a motion on the floor?
Second.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Torres. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, motion carried.
Good job.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Next item is 8C, discussion and action to reject request for proposal number 2025-003, fully funded health insurance.
Chairman, for the record, could the record reflect that I am abstaining and not participating in this vote or discussion?
Let the record reflect. Need a motion?
A motion.
There's a motion made by Ms. Vasquez,
Second.
and there's a second made by Dr. Ochoa. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All against, motion carries. Next item is discussion and action to approve the housing of Possible Dream Adult High School in conjunction with the College and Career Center.
So moved.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, second by Mr. Torres. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All against, motion carries. Discussion and action to approve the district-wide implementation of the Behavioral Support Initiative for students receiving special education and/or Section 504 services.
Mr. Gonzalez is going to make a presentation.
Make a motion.
So,
Baby sister wants to know.
I need a clicker. So, I'll just start with raw numbers real quick. Last year, for specialist students, we had 301 referrals that resulted in removals, either ISS, OSS, or DAP, for a total of 1,385 days. Could have been ISS, OSS, DAP combined. 1,385 days for 301 incidents. That might have been the same student over and over a couple of times. So since last year, Dr. Ochoa and I have been talking about an initiative to help out behavioral supports for our classrooms. So we wanted to start it last year through one, but we lost the teacher that we were going to use. So now through the program change, we're able to repurpose and shift some of our teachers. So we wanted to use one of our elementary teachers and paraprofessionals to train them in something called RBT. Let me make sure I get the correct name.
Registered behavioral technician.
Registered behavioral technicians, right?
There's a motion on the floor.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Lozano. There's a motion made by Ms. Tanguma, or Chapa, and seconded by Mr. Lozano. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
It was the clicker.
I tell you what, the clicker really brought it home. You were struggling there, Mayor. All right, oh, there's G. No. Discussion and action to approve the 2025-2026 proposed budget.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Dr. Ochoa. All's in favor?
Aye.
All's against? Motion carries. Whew. We will now convene an executive session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 5501 of the Texas Government Code. The board will meet in closed session under the following provisions 551-074 for personnel matters, 551-071 for consultation with legal. It is 8:40, and we're in executive. We're good? Yeah, we're good. All right, the time is 9:39. The board is now in open.
Mr. President, with regards to action 8A, it's up to y'all to make a motion.
There are two candidates on the floor for this position. I need a motion.
Second.
There's a motion made on the floor by Ms. Peña, seconded by Mr. Lozano. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against?
Nay.
Motion carries.
With respect to item 8F, Mr. President, discussion and action to approve the 2025-2026 compensation plan and stipend. It's the advice of council that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation.
Need a motion? So moved. There's a motion made by Mr. Torres, second by Mr. Lozano. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries.
With respect to item 10A, it's the advice of council that the board accept the recommendations as presented by the superintendent.
Second. There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Torres. All those in favor? Aye. All those against?
Mr. President, with item 10A1, discussion and action to employ high school principal, if you could please state the recommendation of the superintendent.
I'd like to welcome Ms.
We all know her as Kaz.
Ms. Kasperzinski?
Kasperzinski.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Adam. Welcome, Ms. Kasperzinski. High school principal.
Registered under a different name, Kasperzinski.
Motion second.
There's a motion made by Mr.
Second by
Mr. Torres, seconded by Mr. Lozano. All in favor, say by saying aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries.
And for the record, that was the superintendent's recommendation. She's just indisposed at the moment. And then item B, no action, Mr. President.
I need a motion for adjournment.
Yeah, for a motion.
There's a motion made by Mr. Lozano, seconded by Mr. Torres. All in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries.
You got a name. It is 9:41.